Hey, John. Hey, Brian. Hey, Vince Nye. What's up, dudes? Travis Stearman, how goes it? Were y'all happy with the presentation of the Bassmaster Classic this weekend? The results? The coverage? Kyle, what's up, dude? Just sitting here getting some good old chartreuse back, white-sided crankbaits going. Baits will be at my door today. That's exciting. Happy to see Gussie take it. Yeah, I think Gussie wasn't my top pick. Not because not because he I think he seems like a genuine nice dude, whether he is or not. He seems like a legit dude. Um, uh, but I think it kind of took away from it that he had already won there, and he just went back and did the exact same thing he did before and won again. I mean, the fact that he could do it twice on the same body of water at different times of year is pretty awesome. Um, but as far as you know, excitement, competitive excitement in a which the final day came down to a pretty good. I mean, he could have blown it, um, but all in all, I think it was pretty good. Besides the dude that had already won, winning, um, trying to reach out to Mississippi Wildlife and Fisheries, Kyle, for what? Uh, yeah, it did seem like it was tough. What did Gussie have on the final day? Did he have two fish for 6 pounds? I was kind of hoping Canterbury would sack him up good and win, but that didn't happen. I'd much rather Gustafson win than Schmitty. Uh, Bass could learn how to TV from MLF. Oh, Burns. Morning, Tom. It was tough. It was a tough fishing classic, which I like. It just didn't. I don't know. It was odd because that one didn't come across as a tough fishing classic, like getting going. But then, like as it went, the is it is it that it's fishing tough, or is the population of is the population of fish there not great? Um, because typically on tough fisheries that have a lot of fish in them, you usually see guys catching fish, and I'm thinking it was tough, and there's not a giant fish population. You want me to paint more of these or what? People seem to like these a lot. Uh, they're sexy. They're sexy. And I just did two for this dude, and he didn't ask for them. He just asked for something for Clearwater. I got some more baits over here. I think I'm just going to paint them all this color. Might as well. It's pretty. Um, got kicked off Okissa Lake Saturday. They just reopened 2 weeks ago. They told me only residents only. Only residents of the state or only residents of the lake? of the state. Does it say that anywhere? How far away is it from you? Like, how much time did you have invested? I hope it wasn't like a 4-hour drive. And did you catch them before you got kicked off? Hour and a half. That's not terrible, but that's more than you want to drive home after getting kicked off a lake. I wasn't surprised that LiveScope won, but when both guys sponsored by Bagley's are live scoping the final morning. Damn. Yeah. All right. This is all one gentleman's. Okay. So two people ordered the same color. I guess they're fishing partners or they're buddies because they both asked for the same bait, but they have different rattles. So you gotta keep them separated for the time being. I'll take Robbie's sticker off. Put it right here. These are Robbie's too. Okay. Have you ever recreated a Megabass SBOB color? They have clear bellies and the color of the top shows through. Nah, I haven't painted intentionally. I have done stuff like that where you paint like I've done shit where you paint like the top of the back chartreuse and then you paint black over that and leave the belly clear and make it transparent so you can see the chartreuse under the back. But if you look at the back is black. But if you look at it from the belly, it's chartreuse. I've done shit like that, which is cool. I've done that on. I did it for a dude out in California. Just dicking around. I was painting some shower blow blanks, and he got them from me, and they were done like that. So it's not totally. Casey, what's up, dude? Yeah, the weather's been real dicked up. It's hot as hell here. This is just a regular old. It's just a regular old 1.5. RT, as they call it. Yeah, these have 2 BBs in them. That's why I have to keep these separate because I think some of these have 2 BBs, and I think one of them have the single knocker. I think, maybe not, but I don't want to mix them up. Doesn't look like a 1.5. Murder. Rad Rhyme. That's what I call that one. Looks fatter. No, that's 1.5. Big Malone, what's up, dude? I don't have a stock one to compare it to, but it is indeed the same. JP, what's up? Hell yeah, I was nice 3 to 6 pounders. I put a 6 pounder in the live well to take pics, and the local see me and started flying off the handle, but I'm trying to keep it. What a dickhead. What blank did I send you with your top waters? That was one a company sent me. That's like, I don't know what it is. It's almost like a 2.0, but it's like I think it's like a spin on a BDS, like a BDS 2 almost, but with different facial features. But I don't know. You're gonna have to guinea pig on that one and let me know how it runs because they sent me a bunch of them. and I never. It's the bigger size. If you got one of my little BDS1 clones, it's the size above that, except it doesn't look identical to a BDS like that one does. Like the BDS one that I sell is a BDS1. Besides the rattle. Um, what was funny? Um, what was funny was I was talking to the purchaser with this company, and because I had an issue with an order, and he called me back, and he was like, "Are you Tacklecraft TK?" I said, "That's me." And he said, "Oh shit, dude." It's like, "I appreciate you ordering our your baits from us. I'd like to send you some stuff to try." Like, okay, let me try it. So anyway, got those, and they seem pretty decent. We'll see. Um, but the BDS ones are good. They're real good. Oh, but my point of talking about that was he was when we were talking, and I was like, your BDS ones are good, real good. He's like, yes, that's we sell a lot of those. It's like, why don't you sell them without a rattle so it's actually like a BDS one? He's like, that would be a big order. I'm like, what's a big order to get one of those without a rattle? He's like, I don't know, like a couple thousand. I was like, that's not a big order, bro. And he was like, I'll look into that. Like, you should. But it was funny because like, I don't know that he knew that it was a BDS one. That's what they were selling. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. But like when I asked him about a rattle, like having, if it's their best selling bait, right? Why not offer the same bait without a rattle, and then you'll sell rather than stock bullshit that you don't sell. Why don't you sell other variations of the stuff you sell the best? When that makes sense. But that won't happen. I'm guessing. You wish the 2.0 was a bigger bait. The one you got, you wish you'd like a bigger size than that, like into the BDS3 range or the LC 3.5, something like that. AJ, tell us a fishing story, bro. Tell us a fishing story. Oh, the BDS one. Yeah, it's small. It's a bite getter. That is for certain. I would not throw that bait and be like, damn, I'm about to catch all the 5 pounders. Not to say it won't, but it's a bite getter. Which sometimes I really like early in the year, like in February down here. A lot of times you got to go to like micro crankbaits to get a damn bite. And it's really weird. Like I didn't realize how many fish were up. You know what I mean? Like I would go fish like shallow wood with my normal stuff and not get any bites. And then I started cranking like really small stuff and around the same stuff. And then you start catching 3 pounders, and it's like, I didn't know you were there. I thought y'all weren't there. But like a worm, like a soft plastic or a jig, they won't react to. But a little crankbait. Uh, Me and half the guys in the BFL blanked on Saturday. No. You couldn't save your ass with a shaky head? I re I was rewatching the weekend video and didn't even realize that you were watching that I was actually on. What happens? What is this? Who's blasting me? I why is this doing this? Um, any fishing stories to share? Yes, I have a fishing story to share. I haven't got my power poles ordered yet. I'll probably end up buying somebody's that takes them off their boat um, at some point. Not in the foreseeable future, but at some point I'll get some used ones. Um, I found one for $500. The only problem with it was one, but I think I could probably wait around and then find another one. Uh, but yeah, I don't mind takeoffs. They're all the same. Like I actually prefer used. Um, boat launch service. Um, Fishing story. So I realized that I 100% could have caught more fish had I had power poles. This that is certain fact, and I noticed this the last 2 weekends. Like I could not get these because the water was so high, and that was the only time I could go was when the water had blown so much water in it was everywhere. So that puts them in specific spots that you need to make specific casts to. And when the wind's blowing 25 miles an hour, you can't do that. The wind's blowing you around. Like when you have a little small like clump of weeds and you need to make 10 pinches in those little clump of weeds because they're on bed and doing their thing and they won't chase anything and you've got to like be very specific with where you put a bait. Uh, Getting blown around was not fun. So every time I'd like get to an area and be like, all right, I know they're in here, or I'd get a bite, I'd like catch the fish and then like blow off and then have to like or blow back into the bank or whatever. It was like really a nuisance trying to operate the keep the boat where it needed to be in the wind. And I was like, man, if I could just put power poles down right now and just like lock into where I needed to be, uh, it would make life a lot easier. Um, the other thing that probably doesn't help is my boat is super bone dry of weight because I don't keep any tackle in it. Like all my tackle I keep is in a backpack. I probably had 10 gallons of gas, um, handful of rods, but I don't have shit in my boat. Like I've got a throwable, I've got some jumper cables in the back, um, life jacket, fire extinguisher. With the exception of that, all my lockers are empty. No gas. So my boat is really light, um, like annoyingly light to where it blows around easier than it should. Uh, So, Bo, how was the classic? So I would probably um, I probably more weight would probably help that. Brendan, I've never fizzed a fish in my life. Is Nasty Nate here? 9 pounds got a check. Oh, Randy only had 5. He needs to go back and watch some of his videos. Kyle, that's really what I need, dude. I really need like sandbags in my boat or something. Because my boat doesn't run great light. It doesn't fish well light. Like it fishes better heavy. Um, that's hot as a son of a bitch in here, dude. I'm going to turn some AC on. But I did catch some fish, but I think I could have caught a lot more um, than I actually did had I been set up properly. And you know what? For the longest time, I was okay with no poles. Like I was like, it'd be nice to have it like the boat ramp or when you need to retie. But it's been the last couple of years fishing down here. It's mainly fishing down here that that I've that I've realized that I would benefit from them. I think because there's so much water, and like when you get around them, there's a lot of them there. And typically, other places I fish, I don't feel like there's that big of a population to where you need to like just like shut down and like fish a small area. But down here, I feel like it's more like that. That you can go miles and not get a bite, and then you get a bite, and there's 20 right there. Um, and you need to be able to dissect that area. Um, but winner had 26 pounds. A rig or jerk bait with live. Man, that's fun. That's fun for everyone. The bad thing is, it's like I went to this one area and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go in here. I'm gonna dick around, and I knew where I could catch some, but I said I'm gonna try and figure out these fish. I didn't catch any in there last weekend. I said, you know what, I'm gonna do some stuff different. I'm gonna fish some different areas, and I'm gonna see if I can get them. I can figure out how to get these fish to bite during this tide. Still never got a bite. Not a bite. So I said, all right, I'll go to the damn. I'll go to the meat hole. So I went to the meat hole, dude. It didn't take 2 minutes, and I made a flip in a clump of weeds, and my line went. "Ow." I caught like one that's like 2 3/4. Like, man, I really wasted a lot of time because they're like eating in here, and they're eating somewhere else. But I just had to force a bite that wasn't existent. Maybe learning my lesson a little bit. Didn't like tides. No, they can be frustrating. They can be frustrating. My favorite part about fishing tides was before I ever paid attention to them, and I would just get in areas and pretend like a tide didn't exist. You know what I mean? Where it was deep enough that the water can go up and down and the fish wouldn't have to totally leave or get weird. Uh, yeah, Doug, I was in Chocolata, and I still can't get bit in Chocolata when the tide's high, and I don't know why. It's so weird. And it like it burns my ass up. Like it makes me angry because I'm like I know there's a million fish in here, and the grass looks awesome, and everything's like yeah the water's a little high, but it's not that high to where like you shouldn't be able to get a bite. But I think a lot of them are just I think a lot of them are just in that funk. Like they're on the bed, they're coming off, and they just don't want to do much. And when the tide gets up, they're not necessarily moving with the tide. So you get a lot of extra water, and you get these fish that are stuck on a bed that has 3 foot of water over it, and uh, and it's hard to do that. Is LiveScope playing in the tournaments down here? I don't think so. I'm sure it is to a certain degree, but I haven't seen any like change of weights to where like I feel like something different is happening. Um, but mm, I don't not down here as much. I think up the river probably is a little bit, but in other places in the state it certainly is 100%. But down here I don't think it's quite there yet. I think it's still in its infancy. Doug, you fished actually in Chocolata? Wonder why it's so goofy. Like I know there's other places I can go to fish, but I like it in there. And you know there's a damn million fish in there. Hell, 2 weeks ago was probably when it was the best. Was that in that Doug, did you fish that Pride tournament down there? Doug, you don't think Scope is playing down here at all? No, oh, probably not. I mean, I could see it playing, but I don't think, like I said, I don't think it's there yet. Don't think it's there yet. I know guys are using it to crappie fish and having great success, but I don't know if the bass fishermen have. I don't know if they're that dialed yet. I will say you could probably learn a whole lot from it, bass fishing down here. It would be really interesting to see what fish do during certain tides, how they relate to cover, uh, that kind of stuff, where they actually go, um, things of that nature. Scoped a few crappie. Did you throw them in the box? Keep them and eat them? When the vet won this year in Florida, I knew it was going to be a long year. Yeah, when you start seeing Florida tournaments going on it. It's you're right. I scoped quite a few bass this weekend, along with a handful of sand bass and one yellow. There you go. Everybody's scoping. Everybody's scoping. Fished our club tournament. Brandon won it. All they have is a trolling motor. They call it 12 pounds right at Mayor Park. Yeah. It's pretty sad, though. Can you get through the bridge? Like, can you get under the little pedestrian bridge to get to John's Bend? Last time I tried to get through there had been like a sandbar that had washed in under the big gap in the poles. Scope or die. It's the funny thing is about that shirt is it's becoming more and more true as every day passes. Scope or die. No, really. Competitively, every tournament that passes, it becomes more and more true. I'm interested to see. I wonder how many people living around Knoxville knew about Gussie's fish before last year or 2 years ago when he won, whenever it was. I wonder how many locals saw that and was like, "You son of a bitch." And I wonder how many, I wonder how much, because even if you show people how it's done and what you're doing and where they are, still you're not going to have that many people. You'll have some go down there and dick around, but they don't really know what they're doing. And once they don't catch them immediately, they'll leave and go back to doing whatever they're doing before. But I wonder how much pressure they have received since his last win, and how much more they'll receive now. It's a pretty well-known spot, so there were people. Travis, I didn't watch much at all. I watched bits and pieces. Anytime I watched it, they weren't ever on Gussie. They're on somebody else. Or a fucking commercial. I think I saw that more than anything. I got enough Humminbird ads to choke a damn mule. What I don't get is how we found them. Yeah, that seems like an odd place to look. Maybe not. Maybe he got a tip. Wouldn't be the first time to ever have that happen. Why are you making any tiny? Ooh, that's real tiny. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's the same as if you were to put Brower in the same circumstance. Like Brower is really good, or Biffle, or now John Cox, or any of those guys that find shallow water bites when there is seemingly not a shallow water bite. Like everybody in the field can be like, they are not with 100% certainty not biting shallow. And John Cox or Brower or Biffle or any of those guys will come in and they'll have a bag and be like in the top 5 or 10 and have a bag of shallow fish. And it seems like when you're that good at something, you can find that bite when nobody else can. And maybe that's how it is with Gussie. Is he knows what to look for. What is this shit? AJ, you have a point. Everybody watched him do it. Everybody knew exactly what he did. And they still couldn't outdo him at it. So he had to find fish other than the canal because it got so much pressure. I'm just putting split rings on 1.5, Brendan. Doug, but Mobile County would have to pay for that. And that's not happening. I would love to see it though. I think it would be awesome because I don't have any skin in the game, right? I would learn something. But I'm sure locals that fish down here all the time that have like meat holes would not want them to come here. Me, I'd love to see it because I don't care. They could find the best holes in the whole delta, and it doesn't make a shit to me. Now, if you sent them to Miller's Ferry, that would change. I would have skin in that game. Or you sent them to Demopolis, I wouldn't like that. So, Elite Series, stay away from Miller's Ferry. Come to the Delta instead. Marty Burns, what do you call your bitty bee bait? The bitty Burns? Amy's calling me. Hello? Yes. What if it? I sent it to your email and I airdropped it to you or something. iMessage, something like that. Look in your files. Doug, I don't know how much of a help I would be anymore because I heard a lot of the places I used to fish silted in. Huh? All right, man. I'll see if I can find it and resend it. We're distracted and didn't pay attention. Why don't you just search on your phone? I think I sent it to the Printcraft. Or maybe it was Amy at Hotmail. I don't know where it was. All right, let me look it up. Hi. What did I miss? Doug, yeah, like I said, I don't know that any of my knowledge is still prevalent down there. A lot has changed and a lot has been altered. Launching in Jackson on the Tom. That's interesting. I didn't even know there was a boat ramp in Jackson. Run up towards Linden. What's up, Anthony? I'm sure your horse has been beaten already, but add another kick. Classic when using live. Randy must have acquired a couple of new hemorrhoids over that. Probably. I wonder if Randall's gonna. I wonder if Randolph is gonna. Like I think he's so far gone. Like he's raised so much shit about LiveScope that he can't ever use it now, right? Um, but he's probably in the back of his mind thinking, if I'm going to compete at the highest level, I might need to consider this shit. But like I said, he's so far gone now that he can't. He would lose all credibility by going backwards. He's a YouTuber now, not a pro tournament official. True, but I feel like the shittier he does in tournaments, I don't know that it. Hell, it probably makes his channel better. I don't know. It probably makes people talk shit more about him, and then that grows his channel more. But like, I feel like in the real world, it you should lose credibility, right? Like if you're the number one tip giver on the internet of how to catch bass, except only you can't catch bass. How does that work? I mean, at that point, you're like a just like any other Joe Blow. I mean, you want me to give you crankbait painting tips that I don't know how to paint? Like, well, guys, I just gave you 10 tips on how to be a good crankbait fisherman. I mean, painter, and then go out there and paint some baits and show them to you, and they look like dog shit. You'd be like, why am I taking tips from you again? This baits look like ass. Tim, the major reason I don't like them is I don't like number 6 hooks. Uh, AJ, there's a lot of guys that do that. The majority of people that do seems like well at social media. Resend when I can. That's going to be a job. I got to find this stupid shit. I don't even know what I'm looking for. Wonderful. Well, let's see. Sent. Uh, sent. Sent. Um, let me get on here. Oh, it should be in my files, my downloads. Where's that at? Downloads. There we go. Okay. I need to. Services. I gotta turn the heat on in here, dude. I mean the air on. It is like 80 degrees. Ooh, 8 or 10, even worse. Gross. What do you? I mean, I can't hook up. I can't hook a 3-pounder on a damn number 10 treble. I don't have a bait that flimsy. I don't have a rod that flimsy. Desktop. Share. Let's see if this works. I have to use the beans ball. Probably would. All right, Amy, see if it works now. Every BDB and honeybee I have runs a little different than the next. Plus, they've got to be tuned real carefully or off on them. So I use a medium light spinning reel with 6-pound minor for all those tiny cranks. Ooh, yuck. Yuck. Those are Bagley's bait. Burns's don't have those issues, no. The Sweet Bean's practicing her dance moves. Mommy's creeping on her. All right. You need to change your paper. My address has been changed. It won't let me change it. Like there's nothing on my PayPal that says that address. I don't know how to change that. That street address is not valid. There's nowhere I've found on anything on my PayPal that shows a Texas address. All right, dudes, I gotta get off here and deal with this fucking taxes. We will chat again. Y'all be good. Y'all want some of these? I'll probably do some. Get these guys stuff sent off. But Burns, don't get no, I'm gonna leave because of taxes because I don't want this shit coming up again. I want it done. Burns, don't start getting all warmed up to all these little teeny baits. No teenies. I do not condone teenies. Amy, you're making it like you do, so we're gonna get it changed. We're gonna get this shit squashed. If it's important enough to ask on the stream, then we will get it taken care of. All right, dudes, you'll be good. We'll check in tomorrow. Oh, I'm gonna do a Patreon on Thursday. See y'all.